So I was having this conversation with a friend recently about one of the reasons why I love running so much. And I was at a park run, finished a park run, and as I was just getting a coffee, walking around, there's a group of people, probably in mid-40s, mid-50s. They were all saying what time they came in at and about how Roger, you know, dropped them on the hills and he went past them, and how they couldn't keep up and how they managed to beat their time from a few weeks ago, and just, you know, general chit chat about the race. And one of the things that I said was that to me was so inspiring, because the beautiful thing with running is it doesn't matter whether you're the quickest, whether you're the slowest. It's your individual journey, and you can have that little competition however you want it to be, you know, with your friends and family. And I think that was so, like, just eye-opening for myself, that it was, I'm 27, about to turn 28. When I'm 48, 58, 68, yes, your times will vary, but it's you against you. And then you can throw in that little bit of competition, you know, with people, should you wish to, but you don't have to. And just that alone was, yeah, it was just really eye-opening that they've come out, done their park run, had a good chat about it after, had a coffee, and just enjoyed it, you know. And it is one of them as well. You can get caught up in the numbers if you want to, or you can completely ignore the numbers if you want to. You know, you can approach this however you like. You can run, you can walk, you can run all the way, you can walk all the way. It really doesn't matter. If you're getting out and just enjoying yourself, that is, you know, the big thing. So yeah, that's what I wanted to start today with. And let me know down below in the comments, what is it that you love about running the most? But today, this is our second run of the day. I've broken it up into two. I did a park run in the morning with a friend Dave, and just tootled around with him, and then we're out for another 3 miles now in the afternoon, relatively nice and easy. And we'll take you back to Tuesday, which was our first run of the week, where we started off not really feeling it as much. Today is just one of them days where not been feeling great, if I'm honest, and did not want to get out, wasn't going to get out, but I've decided to come out. 6 miles was meant to be on the cards with some threshold work, so I've just decided let's do 3 miles. And I'm probably going to do a double day one of the days and do an uphill treadmill session of just a couple of miles. Not sure why. I think last night the little man didn't sleep well. Well, you know, he didn't sleep well. He slept well up until about 4 o'clock. And then it was just a constant battle back and forth. Ended up sleeping like on the floor with him next to his crib. So just, you know, combination of those sort of things. And then I didn't go to the gym in the morning because I had some work to do. So overall it's been a very meh type of day, you know, but we have them, not too concerned. And main thing is I'm still laced up, we're still out, we're getting something done, and it's a lovely day for it. At least I've been having a little bit of a mental battle with myself, I'd say, this week, where essentially my job, I work in the football season, so August to May. June and July we've been off, and I've tried to keep a routine of going to the gym in the morning after we drop the little one off at nursery, getting out for the runs in the afternoon and whatnot. This week I've just kind of been like, feeling a bit meh, you know. So I was like, we're out for our 12 miles today, and I was even putting off doing this like later in the afternoon, even though I've got stuff on mid-afternoon. It would then make the run harder and so on. So we've got out in the morning, and I'm very glad that we have. But yeah, I don't know, just for some reason, some part of me just this week has been a bit like trying to sit there and think, is it, you know, we did our highest mileage week last week and it's going up again this week. Is it that? Is it the increase on like what I'm doing? I kind of feel like it's a part of that, yes, but then I also feel like it's food. It's something I've been trying to pay attention to, and I'm speaking to the missus about it. You know, I tend to get up around 6, half 6 with a little one. By like 6 o'clock on the night, I'm drained. Like I'm actually like ready for bed, like tired, you know, and I go to bed at like 9 o'clock, and I think we get, you know, good enough sleep, you know, as we can. But then it feels like, well, is it food related? Am I not eating enough? You know, my weight is kind of staying the same at around 89 kilograms, and I'd like to lose weight still. You know, I know that doesn't really go hand in hand with what we're doing, so I'm just going to try and listen to my body, try and eat better quality foods as well, eat more when I'm hungry, and yeah, go with that. It's hard though, you know, when you're kind of new to all this, like trying to figure out the ins and outs of your body and the mind, and not the battle with running, because I think, well, yeah, I suppose there is a battle at times. You know, I thoroughly enjoy it, but there are obviously days where you're just like, ugh, and that's fine. You know, that's okay to have and fine to work with those days. But it's when it's becoming a combination of like, if things are feeling a little bit more of an effort, yeah, is it lack of sleep? Is it too much? Is it lack of food? There's more going on there, you know? So it's just, yeah, it's definitely just trying to figure that out. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I feel like we're kind of paying attention to that for sure. And we're about 40 minutes in, so another hour and 20 to go or so, I think. On to Thursday then, and today is a 16 mile out in the trails. So I've put in a route that I think there's a good chance we get lost. I mean, look where we're walking now. I've done it on Strava, and obviously I've like gone with the heat map, but then obviously you don't know how long it is. It's a global heat map, right? Someone might not have been down some of these paths in forever. So yeah, we're just trying to find our way. It's wanting me to go through here and down that way, which that looks fine. Sheep. The good news is that he wasn't happy with me. The good news is that I've gone on YouTube, had a look, figured out how to put the pack on again. As I said, it's been that long since I ran with the pack. I just completely forgot, but I've sorted that out. And I remember why I don't run with a pack. Just not a fan. Not a fan of like the extra feeling, you know, when you're already a big person, that extra bit round you just, yeah, really doesn't feel that nice. But the good news about running on the types of terrain that we're on today is that as a whole, we're going to keep the heart rate nice and low, because obviously I can't run as fast. But I will say, and I'm sure you are sick of everyone saying it just like me, it's bloody hot in the UK at the minute. So I set out for this run at about 2:15. Not the best time to be running. But yeah, either way, it is what it is. We're going to get this run done, we're going to enjoy it, and let's go. Quite sad really, seeing all the trees chopped down. I have grossly underestimated A, trails, B, the heat, C, everything. I am nearly out of all my water and carb drink. I'm 10 miles in. I'm kind of detouring back to a quicker way to get back home, because I need to get by a shop and get a drink. So that's the plan of action. But before we do that, these steps. And that's the view from the top. So today's Sunday, and today was our workout for the week. So I just want to run through that, let you know kind of how it went. I didn't record while we were on there. So it was 2 miles easy warm up, and then we were going into 3 sets of 8 minutes at around 10k pace, with a 3-minute recovery in between. And then the aim was to go for 5 times 1 minute slight hills, jog down recovery, and then 2 miles up to finish. We did the 2 miles, obviously, to warm up, nice and simple. And then we got into the nitty gritty to the work. Now, for my 10K pace, I've raced one 10K before, and that was back in 2019, so long before, I kind of got into running this year. And we were about 49 minutes for that. So I don't really have too much of an idea of what my sort of 10K pace is. Now, I've gone off what my 5K pace is as an estimate. So I was looking for these reps to be in and around 6:30 to 6:45 a rep. Now, it's actually come at a right sort of time because this Wednesday coming, I've got a 10K race on the night, just in the middle of this training for the Ultra. So that'll be an interesting sort of stimulus for us. And this workout today is giving me an indication of, what I kind of want to go for. So rep number 1 was 6:38 a mile. We covered 1.21 miles in that 8 minutes. And then obviously the cool down recovery of 3 minutes. Rep 2 was a little bit quicker, 6:28 a mile. I think when I hit rep 1, the first few minutes, I was like, Jesus, this is like quick, tough, hard. By the end of it, I kind of settled in. And then in that second rep, it actually just felt relatively, not easy, that's not the word, but felt in control. I felt my form was still good. I felt everything was there where I wanted to be. And then for that third rep, we actually managed to do 6:20 for this last one. So I did kind of push this a little bit more, maybe more than I should have, in all honesty. But, 6:20 a mile. I'll put the Ks obviously on the screens as well for you, when we covered 1.26 miles in that 8 minutes. So then after this is where I had the recovery to then go and hit 1 minute of hills. Now, it's not perfect, the hill that I kind of have like on the route that I was using. By the time I get to the top, it is just under a minute, but it's just kind of one of them, I'm not going to be too anal with it. So I managed to bang out 3 sets of these. I was going to obviously try and go for the 5 that I was kind of on the plan, but a part of me actually was like, I've got this 10K race on Wednesday. I'm feeling like I'm starting to not cook myself, but get to that kind of max limit. I don't really want to delve too far into that with this race kind of inbound. So for set 1, we did 7 minutes 19 up there, and that was where I actually felt it was a struggle. For rep 2, we managed to do 6:11 up there. For rep 3, I did 6:13, and then obviously we did our 2 mile recovery. So overall, it was just over 9 miles for the day at 8:37 a mile. The heat wasn't too bad. It was a little bit cooler today, which was nice. I managed to get it done, finished by like midday as well, so as the heat was starting to rise up. But yeah, a very good workout, and one that gives me a lot of confidence, I think, going into Wednesday.